Hey class, we're going to be working on creating UML diagrams using a piece of software called diagrams.net. And I'm going to show how I kind of put it into my workflow and give you an example of how you would want to probably do the same thing. So all of these instructions were in the tutorial that I've also assigned, but I just thought you might like to see, like where do you click and where do you drag in order to get all that to work. So once I've created an account, my Google Drive can go in and create these for me. So I can come over here and right click. If I go down to the more, I can choose that I want to create a diagrams.net and I can create it right here. That's a little bit easier than if you go to their website first and then click your way back. Um, so now I'm going to create a class diagram. And let's go on and name this. We're going to call this the phone book diagram. So we'll create. Okay, and because I said it was UML, it went on and it pre-populated some stuff. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to get rid of that grid, the extra lines, make it a little hard for me to think. And I'm going to go on and delete all of this because I don't really, I want to show how to build it from scratch. So let's see, what else do we need? They do have some UML shapes here, but I'm going to go for more shapes and grab their extra UML ones just in case I want them. So I'll apply that. And now I think we're good to go. Yeah, so there's some more crazier ones up there if you need them. But so this is the phone book, which I think we've already covered in class. So you'll be kind of following along as we build it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag out this one right here, which is pretty good for interfaces. Because it has a place for my phone book, and then it's got other places uh, for my methods. So we are making an interface for the phone book, and we're going to start, well, got to double click. There we go. We're going to start by coming in here and saying that we need a couple of methods. So I think the very first thing is I do like to go on and put that I've got, I'm sorry, I want to do all of my methods. You'll notice that you do a plus or a minus, determine if it's public or private. Uh, then I'm going to come in and say we need to first be able to store a number. This is a phone book, so we're going to store phone numbers. So our first part is store phone number, and then I need a name, which is a string. Now we notice that we ran out of space there, so I'm going to go on and just make it bigger so that we've got enough space. Double click to get this in. And then I need a number. I'm going to call it a P number, which is of type phone number. And we're going to assume that there's some class called phone number that we can use. Okay, now I need some more methods in here, and there's a couple of ways to do that. The one that you don't want to do is you don't want to go in and press enter. It has this really weird side effect in that it's not creating another one. It's giving you more space to write that one that you're working on. Now, if you ever do need that, you can do it. You can't have it on multiple lines. But if we want another one, there's a couple of ways we can handle that. First is we can come over here and there should be this attribute, and I can just come in and add it, and now I'm ready to go. The other thing you can do is if you are working on one of these, you can hit Control and Enter, and it will duplicate it for you automatically. And then the last thing is you can come over to Arrange and tell it that you want another row. And so that's good if you kind of like, you need 5 of them, you click, 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 click. But I don't need that one, so I'm going to go and delete it. And we'll come in here and we'll add the others. So we've got store number. We're going to have get number. This is a name. And it's going to return a phone number. And then our last attribute sorry, last method is going to be remove number. And this doesn't return anything. Okay, so there's our phone book, and this is an interface, and now we need some things that implement that interface, and we're going to create two. We're going to create a array list based phone book and a dictionary or a map based phone book. So I'm going to go on and create that right now. Now I'm going to move over here to this class name version, because this allows me to say array list phone book. And the thing that it has is an array list. I'm going to go on and leave this a little bit generic, because part of that lab is figuring out, or that lecture exercise is figuring out what else is going to go in here. But I am going to need some of these methods here. And while technically, if it inherits, so let's go on and get that. So let's see, we've got relationship, use, interclass, association, composition, terminate. I'm going to go on and use this extends. Grab, pop it here, and pop it here. And let's double check. Yeah, so now it's going to move around. And I like to set it up just like that as I'm starting out. When I get done with it, and I want to make it look prettier, I'll go in and I'll extend that, and we'll have a chance to do that later on here. But while I'm here, I'm going to go on and cheat just a little bit. Oh, something happened. Resize this a little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to go on and create copies of these and just pull them where I want them to go. There we go. So I've got my array list phone book. Now, one of the things that we learned, let me see, get out of the page view here. That way, I don't have the edge of the page I've got to worry about. One of the things that we're working with is this idea of composition, the idea that while inheritance is important, using stuff is really important. So I'm going to come in here and let's see. Component, object. Come here and grab this. And I'm going to mark this out that we are using the array list. Now, is there a way to fix this? There we go. Array list is such a commonly used thing that I don't feel like I need to go any more depth. Although if I were writing this for myself, I might put some of those methods in that I think are going to be really important. We need a use. There we go, that'll work. Grab this over here. Pop this over to here. I can tell it to arrange things for me. So let's see if I can arrange it. I want it to be aligned across the top. Oh, that's why it's messing up. It's here. Just want to make that a little prettier. There we go. So I've got my array list phone book that extends the phone book interface, or we would say implements usually, and I might change that. And then we also want to show that it uses an array list. I'm going to need to do something similar for the map. And once again, I'm going to just come in, control all this, control V it, and then I can just come in here, grab these pieces like so. Yeah. And I'm going to need another one of these, so just copy that. Now, if we look, we've got a UML. It looks pretty nice, but if we're trying to print it, it might look a little awkward. It won't quite fit on a page. It's using up a lot of space. So I'm going to go on and move some of these. Looks like I don't have this quite set. Oh, I should name these differently, shouldn't I? This one is a map. And I'm going to use a map. Okay, let's make this a little cleaner. This here on the corner. That'll look like it was planned a little bit nicer. This on the corner. This should be more in the middle. There we go. And I'm going to go on and just change the words here to be implements so that I'm remembering that I'm working with an interface. Okay. Now, I also don't like the way the arrows are pointed. They don't look as nice. So I'm going to go on and add add a little bit more here. They've got this dot in the middle, so you can drag it and create the shapes that you want. So I'm just going to go on and put this elbow kind of a shape in there. And I'll do the same thing over here. This little small orange diamond allows me to say where I want the words to go. There. Mm. Oh. Hmm. Okay, well, if all this fills, just zoom in a whole bunch more. I think that'll work very nicely. So I've got everything lined up. I can then come to File. I can export it as a PNG. Call that, yeah, phone book. So now I've got a PNG that I can use for my design documents. Okay, well, I'm going to go on and stop there. And I will see all of you in class.